Hello, everybody. My name is Phil McDougall. I'm the president of the National Automobile Museum, and you are on What Drives Reno. Today, we have a very special guest, Stanley. Welcome.
Hi, Phil. Thank you for having me.
We're excited because I started looking through, actually, we're going to jump right into the event because there's so many things we're going to talk about, and I was looking at all the different things you're doing. I can't even imagine how you keep things afloat with all the balls you're juggling in the air, but we're going to talk about TEDxReno. And at the very end, I'm going to ask you about your first car. That's kind of a tradition here. So we'll circle back with that. So what do you have going on? Tell us a little bit about TEDxReno.
It's so exciting, Phil. So TEDxReno has been around in Reno for 12 years. But in 2022, out of 16,000 talks around the world, we had 5 of the top 100 and 3 of the top 30.
Congratulations. That's a huge milestone.
Huge milestone. And this year we're back at the University of Nevada. Our partner is the athletics department.
Great.
And the event is 3 days. So on Thursday the 4th, actually that one's at the Automobile Museum, as you know.
If you didn't say that, I was going to give a little plug. We're at the museum here. Selfish plug.
Yeah. So one of our speakers is going to do a special event for us on Thursday, and that's here. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But so the salon is Thursday. Then Friday is actually just in-house. So we'll do dress rehearsal and stuff that day. Right. But the big event is Saturday, April 6th. At Lawler Center at the University of Nevada. Doors open at 8 a.m. It's a full day of talks and entertainers. It starts at 9 a.m. And the first 2 of the day are 2 that no one should miss. They're all great throughout the day, but the very first girl of the day is a 15-year-old girl named Sophia that has Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And she just published a book called I Am Brave. And she's going first because that's brave.
And wasn't she on a movie recently?
Yeah, and
too?
she was just on the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
That came out Thanksgiving.
15, got her first book published?
Third book.
Third book published.
So that's the first talk of the day. And then the second one is Leif Babin. He is a Navy SEAL, co-author of the book Extreme Ownership with Jocko Willink. And co-founder of the Echelon Front, and he's another one. So I'm telling everyone, get there on time.
You don't want to miss the first 2. And for all those people that I have personally witnessed here at my events that come in, I'll get there 20 minutes after. I'm good. I'll be the casual late. Don't, because you don't want to miss the 2 key ones right now. You got to start it off early on a high note.
Yes, and you don't want to miss the last one. We've got Marty Simpson, a very famous
comedian. So you don't leave
comedian.
all day long. We need you there all day long.
It's surprising how many people do stay at TEDx events because we do bookend it. We make sure that there's, and everyone, we have 7 published authors, best-selling authors, and then we've got professors. We've got the guy that does the Red Bull X Games. We've got it just from beginning to end. It's amazing the whole day.
So I know I was one of those people that didn't understand it. So you had, I'm not sure what the event was called that you had here. Mm-hmm. Last year. It was a huge production. But when people go to this now, since I got to know you and understand this a little bit better, it's, lack of a better word, it really is an all-day experience. There's something on from the very first one. You have people all the way around, vendors, and talk a little bit about the other elements that are part of the program. Yeah,
so it's really designed to be a community event. So at the Lawler Center in the area that you walk around, what's that called? The walk around area, the concourse, the walk around area, the concourse.
I knew what you meant.
There's a ton of vendors that set up. So there's some of our partners, there's community partners. We have on our volunteer team, which by the way, I have to throw out some love to. We have the most amazing volunteer team, which as you're on my board of my volunteers. So we have one that's an artist who's going to be doing an art installation right there on the concourse. We've got, they're going to be doing different things that are interactive with the people there. We've got 2 massage therapists who are setting up massage chairs for free chair massages. We're doing free headshots. Actually, your daughter is doing that. Yeah. So it's really interactive out in the concourse. We'll have a bookstore. So the Nevada University of Nevada bookstore is setting up. So we'll have every book that the authors have written, and the after they speak, they're going to come out and they're going to be doing book signings. So that's really cool all day. And the lunch will be served by the vending company at Lawler, and the talks are all short. So I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah. For people who don't know, walk us through. It's not you're in a presentation for an hour each time. They're how long roughly?
Usually Sophia's is shorter, but the rest of them are 10 to 12 minutes. Yeah. Some might go a little bit longer, some might go a little bit shorter, but it's all in the 10 to 12 minute range. And these speakers have been preparing for months.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why our talks do so well is because of our speaker prep program. Yeah. So we had a curation team that went through over 500 applications to pick 15 people. It's very competitive.
That's a lot of work. Just going through the screening processes is a lot of work for your volunteers.
Massive amount of work. And Professor Brett Simmons from UNR leads our speaker curation team and speaker prep team. And we then they go through months of speaker prep where they have to give us a script. They have to practice their script. And then we have a bunch of volunteers on the team that come on to the Zoom calls and give them feedback and change their talk. And it's even for, if I shouldn't say even, especially the most seasoned speakers have the hardest time because they're used to giving a 45-minute talk. Yeah. And a TED Talk is a very unique animal. It's an idea. It's an idea worth spreading.
And you got to convey that idea in a really short period of time. And I mean, I know I'm glad you brought it up. They're working on this thing for months and months and months to get it fine-tuned down to this. And you're going to be impressed because there's a whole variety of topics. You just touched on a couple. It's not one specific idea, concept, but the whole theme is...
The theme is disruption for the whole day. But yes, so there will be... every talk will be different. There's no two that are the same. So we've got one on mental health. We've got one on AI. That's a really, really interesting one. Like I said, we have a comedian, we have a reggae singer.
Something for everybody.
Something for everybody. It really is phenomenal.
One of the things that blew me away is when I first had a meeting with you and you were talking about how many people view this and the potential. Can you share a little bit about like the visibility? Because it's millions that you get exposed to potentially. Is that right?
Oh, huge. So first there's TED is the parent organization. Right. That's the one that happens in Vancouver every year. That's where, Elon Musk and Bill Clinton spoke on that stage. Right. Then they individually license TEDx's to different cities. So I'm the licensee for TEDxReno. Okay. So when we do our talks, every video we're doing a live recording. So the audience is like a studio audience. So they're sitting there while we're doing the recording. Then it will be edited and it will go up to the YouTube channel for TEDx. Yeah. There's 40 million followers. So when you think about, we'll have 15 videos that will go to the TEDx YouTube channel for, and in, like I was telling you about the 2022 year.
Right.
We had millions of views of our videos and millions of shares. And over the years, we've had hundreds of millions. And so our highest partners are on the videos with us. Yeah,
great exposure for our partners, sponsors, and you get a sense of the caliber, and not only the caliber of people, but the visibility. What I want to do is convey to people in Washington today, you don't want to miss this. They not only support the businesses and the community, but you're going to get so much more out of it. You're not going to go in there and, no offense to some other events, you come in for 45 minutes, you get some tea, coffee, and you leave. You're here experiencing so many different topics throughout the whole day, plus all the benefits from the photographs and the massages, and it's really a community event. So what can people do, or what should they do? And I know other elements we're going to talk about on the 4th, but I want to remind people that are watching, tickets are... You can buy them here. They cost this much.
Yes. So all the tickets are available at TEDxReno.org.
Okay.
And students are only $25.
That's nothing for someone for all day long. Companies, send your students down. Yeah. Parents, send your students down. And
the students love it. We've got several different professors that are speaking this year too. So it's a great thing for students. And then the regular tickets are $100. And TEDxReno.org. That's where they're available.
Okay, let's touch base on the 4th. We touched on it a little bit.
Yes.
So that's a salon. You have a really good speaker coming in.
Yes. So
I heard a lot of people talking about this in the community already.
It's huge. So one of our speakers is a Columbia law professor. Her name's Alexandra Carter. And in one of her speaker prep calls, she's also an attorney. I'm an attorney. And we really hit it off. And she has written this book called Ask for More. And it's teaching people how to negotiate. Right. And I've been a lawyer for 23 years. And I said, my God, Alex, I wish I had read this 23 years ago. It's so brilliant. Mm-hmm. And so I said, would you be interested in coming in 2 days early? Because here's what was cool. She actually is a trainer to the United Nations and Fortune 500 companies.
So I'd say she's got some experience
Oh, yeah.
at the highest level.
Oh, yeah. And she gave a talk to the United Nations with her 13-year-old daughter last year. And so I said, would you come and do that talk for women in Nevada? And she said, yes, absolutely. So we partnered with the Nevada Women's Fund,
Right.
the Girl Scouts of Sierra Nevada, and Platinum Wealth Management, that does financial planning for women.
Great.
And so we partnered with all of those groups to bring Alex here 2 days early, and she and her daughter are going to do the talk that they gave at the United Nations for Women. And then we're going to have a panel that I'll be moderating, and then we'll have we'll have Alex and her daughter, and then someone from each of those organizations that I mentioned. And then after, we're going to have a champagne reception with Girl Scout cookies.
Don't forget the Girl Scout cookie part. So that's going to take place here at the National Automobile Museum. And then go on your website again, then get tickets to both those events.
And that one, we are subsidizing students completely, so they're free because we want girls to come. So
Right.
any student is free, and the tickets are only $20. That one was heavily subsidized because we just want to get women there. We want them to learn. And it's the thing that I love about her message is most people think of negotiation as I win, you lose, right? And she's saying, no, it's the opposite of that. It's a steering of a conversation. But here's what's most interesting is that you're always negotiating, whether it's with yourself, whether it's with your kid to put their shoes on, whether it's with your husband or wife about who takes the garbage out. Everything's a negotiation, and she gives a complete mind shift about what that looks like and how you negotiate. And she's going to do her big talk on Saturday, but you're going to get a full dose of it on Thursday.
I'm smiling here because I'm just thinking of, like, I was negotiating with my granddaughter just last night. My wife, I lose. So I need to go to this class and know that I got to tell her that it's always a win-win. You know, we can edit that part out, right? No, but it's big. It's important. People need to understand all the different elements that TEDxReno can bring to it. And I really want to emphasize, it's $20 for that one, but for students are free.
Yeah.
To go to the other one, the big event that's going to take place on Saturday, it's an all-day event. People need to buy tickets not only for the experience, but to support this organization because we want this to grow. We want it to be as big, and I'm very competitive, so I want this to be as better than anybody else, and I know under your leadership it's going to be that way. And I've had experience with the volunteers, and they are really passionate. Your group that you've assembled is great.
It's amazing. That's what really was the reason that I got talked into taking over the license, because the previous licensee was retiring. And our group of volunteers, we've got doctors, lawyers, business owners, community leaders. We've got people that are really,
Well, there goes
prominent.
your stock. You threw me in right down the bottom. Can we edit that part out too? We want a full house.
It's phenomenal, the caliber of the talent of people and the other cool thing about it is it becomes a networking opportunity.
Yeah.
So there's many people in our volunteer group who have either started working for someone or they got each other jobs or they, mentored, things like that. It's phenomenal.
I'm glad you brought that up because the networking component to me is just one of the most valuable tools. It's in addition to educational components of it, the network, you can't put a price tag on that. So I want to thank you very much for coming here, be part of the show. We're going to wrap up really quickly with your car. What was your first car?
1982 Sunbird, 2-door. I was so proud of that car. Red.
Everybody remembers their first car. Do you have a story behind it?
It was a stick shift. I just loved it. I was so proud of it.
You can see when I ask people that question, sometimes they smile and I go, "What's behind that smile?" And they go, "Oh, I can't share that."
Actually,
part.
I will tell you. A friend of mine who was 2 years older than me in high school, Sherry Holmes, had that car. And I thought she was the greatest thing in the world. So then when I finally was able to get a car, I didn't want anything else but that car. That's my story. That's how I got it. So Sherry, I'm going to send this podcast to you so you see what an impact you had in my life.
Years later, we're talking about it.
About Sherry
TEDx
Holmes
and
and
Sherry.
Warren's Tower.
TEDx and Sherry. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for
Thank
being
you.
on the show. Congratulations. The website again is?
It's TEDxReno.org.
Buy your tickets, send your employees, send your family down there, and be a good community partner. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Phil.
I mean, that was really fun. I mean, she is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Man, I just thought that was a really great interview. Boy, I couldn't have connected better. I think that was great.
Is he the normal guy that does this, or did they get some guy off the street? Like, that interview was the most unprofessional, awful interview that I had to carry the whole thing. And he's kind of a tool.